Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us. Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us. Follow us.
Yes, and yes. A very good evening to you, Edo people and Nigerians across the world. I want to salute you personally and welcome you to this edition of the Comrade Show. This is the Comrade and Friends. On this segment of the program, we try to look at what is happening within the political space of Edo State and Nigeria. And of course, sometimes when the need arises, what we do is to equally take a look at what is happening around the world, particularly with how it affects us in Nigeria and probably in Africa. And my name is Comrade Lamte Oreahi. I want to welcome you to the Comrade Show. Please, if you are joining us, I already see MK Sly, Mirabel, Kings Lucas, Sunday Dawano. Thank you so very much for joining us. If you are with us, please help share the broadcast. Let's get some numbers together so that we can hit the ground running. Like always, I have some colleagues of mine in the house. I call them the Musketeers. In a moment, I'm going to be introducing them. And of course, they are going to help us do justice to the subject matter of today. Today, we are going to start, from looking at, the President-elect of America, that's President Joe Biden. And of course, the implication of his presidency on Africa, most especially Nigeria. And we will move from there by the grace of God. We'll look at the time, and of course, we are going to, take some time into, the expected inauguration of the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki. And of course, we shall open our lines at some point to take calls from, from Edos across the world. And of course, we want people to tell us what they expect from the second term of the governor of Edo State. Please, if you are joining us, share the broadcast. I see you, Rita Amayede. May God bless you. Thank you so very much, Bishop William, Gladys Agaku. Thank you so very much, Charles Ehi, David. Thank you so very much. Grace Ogbomo, thank you very much for joining. This is the Comrade Show. Please, let's keep sharing the broadcast. Let's keep sharing the broadcast so we put some numbers together. Then we hit the ground running in no time. It is the Comrade Show as always. And of course, I've got the Musketeers, the two Musketeers to come do justice to the subject matter of the day. Otatesi Edo and there, thank you so very, very much for support. To be honest, I cannot thank our supporters enough. You guys, you make the show what it is. And your support is massive. I see you, Don Morris. Emi Yogo. Thank you so very much. That's a long one. It's a beautiful one too. Yes, and Marco Andros. So thank you so very much. Let's share the broadcast. Let's keep sharing the broadcast, and let's take the next couple of minutes to bring on the comrades, and the friends of the comrades, right in the house. Yes. Chris Van FM Ajayi, thank you so very much. Friday Dahosa, God bless you. Roland, I don't know J, Ibuede, thank you so very much. Joseph Humphrey, thank you so very much. These are Nigerians and Edo people across the world. I thank you very much for the support we are getting from you guys. You guys make the show rock. Without you guys, of course, we can't be here. On this note, while we are sharing the broadcast and we are hoping that others will join us, we will just hit the ground running. And on that note, permit me to quickly start by, of course, reminding you that I'm Comrade Lamte Oriahi. That has not changed. Of course, whenever it does, I'm going to let you know. But right now, I'm going to bring on the Musketeers. And right in the house, I have our brother, pharmacist Austin Iremira. Pharmacist, please say hello to the people. They want to hear your voice now.
Good evening, my people. Happy Sunday to all of us. We are back again on this discourse to talk about things happening around the world and also to deepen our democracy, especially that of Edo State. Thank you so much, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Thank you so very much. That is Austin Iremira. Right in the house too, I equally have another, man of substance. This one is a doctor, and he's not that person, but Dr. Tony Osakmama Agbons. Please, Osakmama, say hello to the people. They want to hear from you now.
Our people are hello now. Again, very happy Sunday to every one of you, wherever you are watching us, in all the parts of the world. Big welcome. Well, like I always say, we did our day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agbons. The matter, like you already know, anyhow, anyway, now we tell they run this matter. Sometimes we speak Queen's English. If we speak Pidgin English, just as part of the whole matter, now they be. We know the fight, but we just take them the way it come. Mikey Daho, I say you, thank you so very much. God bless you, Ajayi Otatesi, Domande, thank you so very much. Yes, God bless you guys. Gladys Arako, you guys are wonderful people. We are going to start and hit the ground running as quickly as can be, just this very minute. But we want to take the next 10 seconds to, of course, do our signature tune. This is the Comrade Show, and I'm Comrade Lamte Oriahi.
Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know.
Yes, my people, we are right back. We want to start. Austin, we have had, the election take place in America, and we can confirm, as we have been doing since yesterday, that Joe Biden, has been elected, president of America, hoping to take over from President Trump. On the 20th of January. I want to ask you, from your perspective, what do you think the election of Joe Biden means for Africa, particularly Nigeria, as it were?
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, for that very important question. First and foremost, let me congratulate the President-elect Joe Biden for the very important victory. There is a lot at stake. And I think even before we go to Africa, we need to look at what implication it is for the Americans themselves and for the world. I think America has long lost some sense of leadership and stability. So the advent of a new sheriff in town who will take over the mantle of leadership on the 20th will bring some form of stability to America, and the world need leadership as well. So it will bring some form of leadership. That said, Africa cannot exist in isolation, and we all know that America is a great country with huge potential, and whatever they do, rub off on Africa. So I think it's also a good omen for us as well, because to a large extent, Trump has been a bit unstable, and most governments across the world, Africa not excluded, did not understand his policy. With Joe Biden, it's a bit straightforward, although all Americans will always want to be America first. But I think there will be some form of compassion in international regulations as it would affect Nigeria in particular, given the fact that the presidency at the moment is made up of a black lady who is now in position that will somewhat rub off on us as well. So on a general note, I think it will be good news. It will give Nigeria a sense of direction and stability if we really want to work with America. So generally, it portends something good for me more than that of Trump. And I think if Nigerian government align themselves very well, there is much to benefit, much to share. Don't forget that America and Nigeria are good, have good business dealings as well, especially within the crude oil sector. So overall, I think it will bring some form of stability for us and a sense of direction.
Dr. Agbons, would you agree with that? If no, why?
I will agree. And yeah, I will agree. Congratulations to the new president-elect and his vice. Like Austin have said, um, the new mantra is everyone looking after his or herself. So nations these days look after their own first. So I think not much is going to change. Is except for the fact that it may just be like body language. I think the major challenge the whole world had with the President Trump was his brash, very brash, aggressive nature. So which people couldn't really come to terms with. But when you look at President Joe Biden, he's a very calm, calculated individual. He looks very cerebral, personality. So his persona, his charm and charisma is something that countries like Nigeria we can leverage on. Um, Good to hear that even our president has sent a congratulatory message already. So those in charge of our foreign policy, they have to start work immediately for us to continue to, like Austin have said, our relationship with America will be very cordial. They are one of our largest trading partners, especially in terms of crude oil and all that. So I think it will be much better than what we had in the Trump days. But like America has always been, they always look after themselves, which is normal anyway.
Austin, I'm going to ask you this. Looking at President Joe Biden, this man is in his very late 70s. And of course, by the time he's finishing this first term, he's going to be in his early 80s. I mean, for leadership. And I mean, we know what age does to somebody, as it were. Do you really think that Joe Biden should actually be here with this age?
Said before, and taking the Nigeria narrative into it, I am now or somewhat against anybody that wants to rule my country, Nigeria, that is over 60 or 65. I've said that repeatedly. But the case of America is somewhat different. We have structures, but we don't respect our structures. So America has got structures and they have structures in place. So I think to a large extent, the age matter might not be a very big issue as it relates to Joe Biden. Another thing again that's going for him, in addition to the age, is his experience. He spent over close to 40 years now in the House. So he knows the inner workings of government. And remember, he was vice president to Barack Obama for 8 years. And I guess he was a very good vice president. So all that put together may just help him, barring his age. But of course, you know, we cannot really say what will happen in the near future. Going over 80, you are exposing yourself to much danger in terms of e-health. We pray it doesn't happen. But I think if it does happen, the American system is transparent. So it will not be kept for a very long time before that will be totally addressed. I worry, but I'm hopeful that given the situation, they must have done all their analysis. It might just be able to carry us through. On a lighter note, if he does fall sick and is incapacitated, then we have the first black woman taking over for him as the vice president. But I don't see that happen. He hasn't really come out openly to say that he's not running for his second term, but his body language has suggested that. He said he needed just one term, probably because Donald Trump has created the atmosphere for America to turn to an 80-year-old woman to save them from crisis. We never know, but I hope he doesn't become incapacitated, and then maybe we will not have such old person anymore in the White House. But given the situation and with the savviness and sophistication of medical equipment, and you have doctors that are there to run up to him, I don't really worry so much. I only worry, I know you're getting worried because of the Nigerian factor, which is the issue of secrecy and not being open. But I don't think that will cause any problem to Joe Biden.
Good. You did mention you did mention Donald Trump. I was going to come to Donald Trump, but I want to take this to Mr. Agbons. Agbons, The American election has exposed so many things. He has exposed. I mean, I just sit down. I just imagine election that was held on Tuesday. Result was declared on Saturday because of this, you know. And Donald Trump is fuming. He's in court. You know, he's in court with different applications. You know, he's saying that the election has been rigged and all of that. You know, and so many things ongoing at the same time. You know, and are you say you will be satisfied that, you know, America had election? This is a place that everybody tend to, you know, want to imitate. They had election on Tuesday, 4 days after we are getting the result, you know, declared, and not fully. Some states are even still counting, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, is that something we really want to say, that this is a perfect democracy from your perspective?
Yeah, thank you, Comrade, for that very incisive question. One thing people must understand is about this American election is that because of the COVID pandemic situation, a lot of people did want to go and vote physically. So it's been reported that this is the highest number of postal voting that America has had in their history. In fact, the people that voted using the post is over 80 million. So and counting has been ongoing. So I wouldn't go take too much about the time it has taken between Tuesday and Saturday when the election was eventually called for Joe Biden. Because anything like they say that is worth doing, anything that is worth doing is worth doing well. So I think we can excuse the Americans because the votes, the numbers of postal votes was huge considering the pandemic that we are in. And also, people should also remember that America is such a huge country. It's large, a population of over 200 million as well of people. So, and the turnout, they said this is the highest number of turnout of votes that in American history. So the vote Joe Biden has got, no American president has got that. Even Trump, who lost, no American president has got it. But the only thing that has a bit dragged this election a bit is the behavior of of President Donald Trump. He's a very bad loser, and when things are not going his way, and we saw the way he went to court to stop the counting and all that. That was not a very good thing for American democracy at all.
Okay, talking of being a bad loser, Pharmacist Austin, you know, I was actually going to come to that. Till this moment, Trump is still tweeting, is still discrediting the election. Now, given the attitude of Trump, how would you say this would impact on the international community, particularly the view of the international community on the American states, looking at the behavior of President Trump? Austin.
Thank you so much, Lamptey. Like it is said, you don't throw the baby with the bathwater. What Donald Trump has been doing since in fact, right before the day of ballot and after has not been very good. You should realize that he is the president of a leading country in the world, and you should be careful of what you say and what you do, because whatever you say and do has a huge implication. His statements have been more of a disservice to America, because you never know where this would go, and you should not be discrediting a process that seemingly looks very transparent. If you have your grievances, you would have done it in a very proper way. Secretly, many of the world leaders are not really happy with Trump, and they've been very confused with his leadership. You see that shortly after Joe Biden was called to be the president-elect, you saw praises coming from all the world leaders. In fact, the mayor of France had to use a particular word: "Congratulations, Joe Biden. Welcome back, America." You see, so that's just to say how people feel about him. He has every right to go to court if there is injustice meted at him. But to start calling this even before the day of ballot suggests something else. And we must not always also forget, I was telling somebody, Donald Trump has become an enigma. A sitting president is not losing just like that. He's losing with huge amount of votes, which means whatever he stood for was bought very seriously by the Americans. And that is what I even fear for Joe Biden's leadership, because America is broken, America is divided. So we need a president to really heal them together. Over 60 million people share Trump's ideology and canting. You can't just wish them away. So he has done well in that. But there is huge amount of job to be done, both within America and in the international scene. Within the international scene, it will be easier, but within America, it's going to take Joe Biden a very long time and process. And again, too, today, even this morning, Donald Trump sent a very wrong signal as well. He has still not conceded, but conceding is not required in law. It's just a pattern that every leadership have been doing in America. I hope that power that be may prevail on him to allow this go. Maybe in the next few days, he may concede. But if he doesn't, that's not a problem. It's all for the vote to be counted and all that stuff. Like Tony said, I know the system seems a bit slow. They were not allowed to open the ballot, the postal vote until the day of election. So probably maybe going forward, because they're a very sophisticated country, they may learn a better way of doing things, and probably maybe will not suffer this. Because the way of counting the voting on that particular day is different from the way of counting the postal ballot. That's why you are seeing this huge surge of numbers, which again is somewhat confusing to Donald Trump. But he knew all this because the feelers he got during the campaign suggests that it may not go his way. So I think he will be doing more damage internally to America and painting the country in a bad light if he continues with all these unwarranted statements, which suggests in terms that he is not really a sportsmanship and is not really displaying high level of sportsmanship. He's not gallant in victory. He's gallant in victory, but not gallant in defeat, which is not what you expect for a leader.
Thank you very much, Austin. I want to ask you. I probably will ask this one in pidgin English. Inside this matter, wetin be our own for inside? Before the elections, Nigerian, religious leaders, particularly the Christians, not be small prayer, fasting. Now we commit Nigerians to pray, majorly to pray and fast for President Trump. At the level of America, many Nigerians in America, they take the matter very, very personal. Well, that their own may be understandable. Say why Trump not win, to the extent that brothers have become, they have been antagonizing each other. I've been seeing many of them, online and all of that. Why would he win? Some are still declaring that Biden has not won. Sir, I want to ask you, what will be our own inside this matter that we have taken? If I have seen some pastors, creating different kinds of theories here and there concerning this matter, and all, but on a very good day, Dr. Agbons, what will be our own for inside this matter? When you be saying, man, this matter now, I can't be like say they tear us apart.
My brother, now as you see, and as I see, Nigeria matter. Our matter, it be like a tap with the flow from two sides of the pipe. When they look social media and the way people they curse each other, people say I go block you for Facebook, I go remove you from my Instagram. The thing where they ask, they say, just like what you asked me, I say, what thing be all this? My only take for how our people they realize that we still they lack a lot of maturity. They like to use religion and ethnicity. For America now, we no fit talk of ethnicity per se, so we go put racism there. But for Nigeria, Trump was very, very categorical about this gay and lesbian matter. And then a lot of Nigerians, just that one, because of that one, they say, oh, Trump, now the person where God sent to come end gay and lesbian matter. So there are a lot of Nigerians, they hold on to that one. So, but the truth of the matter is that our people, where they hold on to this part of Trump, no dey look other issues as well. So now the major thing where they make a lot of pastors for Nigeria, the whole fasting and prayer, they even some places I even hear say they do all night vigil to pray, may God allow Trump. And there were a lot of prophecies as well from some of our men of God say Trump go win, and as he no win now, me no know what those people go do. You understand me? So at the end of the day, what I will say is that for Nigerians, make we learn political maturity. Make we dey remove sentiment and emotions from the way we dey judge political matter. Because if we keep doing that, we our own democracy no go also grow. Now, what I go talk be that.
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless you. Austin, I'm going to ask you this. You know, Okonjo Iweala is a Nigerian. Okonjo Iweala, she's a Nigerian. And right now, she's the most qualified person to become the Director General of the WTO, you know, the World Trade Organization. And this was supposed to have been concluded since the past couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that matter is left hanging with every nation, you know, as part of that group, endorsing her leadership. But the American delegation refused to endorse her leadership. Because of that, American delegation under President Trump, because of that, you know, proclaiming her as a DG when historically it has to be a unanimous decision, you know, was stalled. And the team decided to shift the date of that proclamation, if it's going to happen, to consult. They need to have a consensus candidate that everybody will endorse. And all that is ongoing right now. It was on the 9th of this month that was fixed, but I hear now that it's been shifted, you know, a bit ahead. Now, with Joe Biden winning this election, does that tip the balance in favor of Okonjo Iweala? Austin, what do you think?
Thank you so much, my brother. Unfortunately, Joe Biden not go take over until January 20th. So I don't know whether the WTO go wait until January 20th. And I know say you not ask me that question, but just to support my brother, those Nigerians where they support Donald Trump on ground of religion, they not see clear racism now where Donald Trump they do. I be not being the lead America now. If he truly like us as we think, why not give express road to Okonjo Iweala? That's a food for thought for my brothers. You know. Then to talk about Okonjo Iweala, 2 weeks ago when that news come, it was a good omen. Everybody, with everything that happened for our country, we felt a sigh of relief. Everybody was happy. I think our appointment will be the best thing to happen to Nigeria, to happen to sub-Saharan Africa, to happen to the entire continent and the world. Remember, the WTO, their former name, now the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, GATT. So they've been existing for 73 years. Inside that 73 years, now 25 years time, now 1995, they changed their name to WTO. Inside that 73 years, they don't exist. No woman don't be head of that group. And no African don't be head of that group. This is our time. This is our moment. Not be even say because say we be African. The person in question is the right person for the position. He get all the requirement back. So really, we not get choice. If we miss out this time, it no go good for us at all. I take my time to go look around to check all the people who don't head down. There be about 7 people so far. If they come across between Britain, I think America never heard them, some Europeans, and a few of South America. So it is really our time. I don't think Joe Biden, I'm not sure say he will reach January 20th, but if he does reach January 20th, I'm very sure it will not be a problem for the President Joe Biden to expressly pick and give support to Okonjo Iweala. But the ball is still in the hands of Donald Trump. He is still president until January 19th. But I'm very sure, because the world, everybody really want that woman. And I think she will definitely turn out to be the DG. It will only take time.
Very well. Dr. Agbons.
Yes.
It's a court. It's got so many cases. He has faulted the election. He has asked for a recount in, I think, in the state of Georgia, and he's asking for a recount across different other states and all of that. Given all of this, do you think Trump has a case, particularly with the way, President-elect Joe Biden has been celebrated across the world? Do you think that Trump has a case to overturn, the way things are at the moment in his favor?
Very simple answer, my brother. Trump has no case. Even at the moment, when he went to court to stop the vote count, he couldn't bring any substantial evidence. I think he's just ranting because before this program, I was looking at the vote count at the moment. In the popular vote, Joe Biden is having about 75 million votes. To Trump is having about 70 million. So if you even look, that is going to over 5 million votes. So the margins, the statistical margin is just too much. So like we said before, he's just a bad loser. When things are not going his way, he will always blame the sky for it. So if he likes, he can go to, somebody even wrote this afternoon, he said Trump can take the Supreme Court to court. He's not going to get away with this. I think the American people have spoken very loud and clear. In any contest like this, there has to be one winner. So he won. He defeated somebody in an election 4 years ago. So he should be magnanimous. He should be gallant in defeat. And if you look at Joe Biden in his speech yesterday, I was watching it last night. I stayed up late. He did not even mention Trump. His victory speech was so magnanimous. He was calling for healing of the country. He was calling for an era of no demonization. It was very calm and it was soothing. And I must tell you that reports I have read today even has it that even some of Trump supporters are even saying that, oh, man, we need to move on. We just have to move on. Election has come, and then they need to rebuild their country.
Thank you very much. Yes, my people across the world, Edo people and Nigerians across the world, most especially, I want to thank you all, the followers of the Comrade Show and those who constantly, stay with us on this program. We're not going to move from America and we want to come back home, come back to Nigeria, back to Edo State most especially. And I want to let you people know, if you don't already know, that on the 12th of this month, that's talking of Tuesday next week, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the inauguration of the Edo State, the formal inauguration of the Edo State, Governor Obaseki into office for his second term. And, the election of the governor of Edo State, for the second term elicited a lot of support. Those are looking forward to a lot of things to happen. So many things already are happening and all of that. But we want to discuss what the expectations are likely to be. And on that note, I'm going to be opening the lines. If you think there's an expectation you have, there's something you are expecting, how you want the administration to be, you can call in, take 1 minute to make your suggestions, or say whatever you want to say. But meanwhile, the team will start the discussion. I want to start this with Agbons. Dr. Agbons, from your own point of view, one who was so involved in the process that has brought, the present governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, on board, what are your expectations as a person going forward, particularly from his inauguration on Tuesday next week?
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Lamptey. Those all over the world, those in Nigeria, those who are resident in Edo State. This week is going to be a great week for us. My expectations are very high. They are very high. And of course, the governor in his first 4 years, despite all the pressures and obstacles he was facing, has raised the bar. And as an Edo son, my expectations are high. I'm really looking forward to the inauguration on Thursday. And I know our wait-and-see governor is not going to disappoint. My expectations are high, very high. And I know a lot of other Edo sons and daughters both at home and in diaspora, we are all on the same page on this.
Very well. The expectations of Dr. Agbons, well, he's got high expectations and all of that. So many people have got high expectations. The number is out there. It is 00447438229094. You can call us and tell us what you expect. But I'll just shift the button quickly to, pharmacist Austin Iremira. Pharmacist, from your point of view, what are you expecting specifically from this government?
Thank you so much. To whom much is given, much is expected. Governor Godwin Obaseki in his second term will not be a new fight. It will not be new. So my expectation, just like Tony, is very high. First and foremost, I would like him to hit the ball rolling quickly. Upon his inauguration speech, I should expect some drastic moves and information should be disseminated on that platform on that day. I should expect a quick overhaul of his present cabinet to suit the challenges ahead. He shouldn't waste time like Buhari took over 6 months negotiating. I believe by now he should have drawn them off. Those he want to retain, he should retain. Those he want to keep, he should keep. And I also want to say something. The world is changing and changing fast. We've noticed that communication is very key. So the governor should make sure that all the paraphernalia of government, all the infrastructures and instrument of government is constantly abreast with his people. So whatever government is doing, they should make sure they let the people know. So his media team, everybody around him should be up and doing, and they should be sincere. Because like Tony said, the expression is very, very massive. Remember, politics is so dicey. You can be on top today, and by evening you are down. So sustaining that is very important. September 19 was an epic day in Edo State, and the inauguration would just be the beginning of better things. I believe, I trust, and I know from what I've seen is done. I wasn't a supporter for the first term, but seeing his work over the last 4 years, Edo from everywhere came together to support him. So we are going to keep him on edge. We are going to support him because we want Edo State to be the new Saudi Arabia of the entire Nigeria. So the work ahead for him is massive, and I'll be looking forward to his inaugural speech.
Thank you very much. Just yesterday, the governor led Edo's, to a process of environmental sanitation. Edo was, massively made clean. Under this leadership, he took the bull by the horns. He led the team. Every Edo light was busy, and yesterday Edo became clean. And this was all done to herald the inauguration, to equally herald, Allow Without Summit, which is ongoing at the moment. And of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing a match on Friday in Edo State on the 13th. Just a day after the inauguration, which is on Thursday, and all of that. And on top of that, as we speak, the Osiomo power plant is already up and running, and it's already powering, different facilities in Edo State, including the Sam Ogbemudia Stadium. As a matter of fact, the match that the Super Eagles are going to play, at the Sam Ogbemudia Stadium is going to be played at night. And the power will be supplied by Osiomo Power Plant. And from what we know, Osiomo Power Plant is already giving 24 hours, power to some facilities of government, across the states. Dr. Agbons, given this feat that we have achieved just before the second term of the SLSC begins, what do you think the Edos should hope for beyond this?
Comrade, you have took the sails out of my ship, especially when you mention the Osiomo power plant. During the elections, people were like, MOU. But I can tell you that all those people have been watching, looking at social media, all of them, they've run away. They've gone into the cages. Nobody is talking now, and the Osiomo power plant has delivered. The project has been is functioning, and like you said, it has been supplying the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium 24-hour power, and we all saw visuals of this. This will not be them say. It was evidential. We all saw it. So, look, I am really, really excited about what the government of Governor Godwin Obaseki will do in the next 4 years. If you look at the governor, he's got the plan and he knows what he's doing. So and you see the way things just play out, the way nature. Now the Nigerian Football Association allowing Edo State to host the Super Eagles game, and so Edo is going to be on the world map. That match is going to be beamed live on Super Sport and other global channels. So people are going to be watching, and the stadium itself is state of the art. It's world class, like what you have in most of these European cities. So look, I must tell you, it's a great time to be an Edo son and daughter. We are actually going to be having a good time. The other week we had the news of our airport being upgraded to international standard, where people can travel from America, the UK, anywhere in Europe, and just land in Benin without going through Lagos or Abuja. Look, comrade, these are exciting times. You know, I would say at the moment we are top of the league, using football terms. So I'm so happy, I'm glad. Like Austin said, we can't wait for Thursday and to see the governor hit the ground running.
Very well. Mr. Austin, as we speak, construction work has begun on Ekenwa Road. And for many of us, we know that Ekenwa Road leads to Giligili. And of course, MOU has been signed long before now for Giligili to be constructed, so that Edo can equally have a seaport where goods can land directly in Edo State. So looking at Giligili and looking at Osiomo Power Plant, if and when completed fully, will be giving Edo State up to 455 kVA power generation. And looking at the expectations of airport upgrade and so many other things, how would you assess the economic future of Edo State in the very near future?
Absolutely bright. It's skyrocketing. Just before I answer your question, I don't know if time will permit, I will give you, just to explain what happened to me a few years, 2015, when I went to Nigeria. Do you know that there was a flight that was to take off from Abuja to go to Benin? Everybody you can name, because there was a very big wedding taking place in Benin that day. A chief judge's daughter was getting married, and I was also going for that wedding. Do you know that there was only one flight leaving Abuja to go to Benin? And for all of a sudden, that flight was cancelled. Everybody now had to retire back. Then I asked myself, the ancient city of Benin where I was born, I'm going close to 50 now. Do you mean that it's only one flight that leaves Abuja and goes to Benin? I was told yes, that it's only in Lagos that you have one or two. And I weep for my country. I weep for Edo State. Do you know what commerce that would be? Do you know if Benin Airport become an international airport, we can fly all the way from the UK straight without transiting and go straight to Benin? So the massive commerce, the employment, economic activities, you cannot really fathom that. Our so-called lazy youths will no longer go to the prison to go and bust them open, because they will be gainfully employed. There will be lots of opportunities, and that will open up our economy. You can't imagine that. If the airport is currently employing about 10 people, with that investment, you are looking at 20 to 25 people. There will be lots of activities, not only the airport. You mentioned the Gelegele Seaport, which I'm praying very seriously he actualized, because that's a long-term project. I don't know if that can be done in 4 years, but just imagine if that is done in 4 years within Obaseki's term. You can imagine the amount of people that will be employed. Of course, we're already getting benefit from the Osiomo power plant. For 24-hour constant electricity to be maintained in the airport, some persons must be at the desk working. So my brother Lamte, it is going to be absolutely massive, and those state people and indeed Nigerians are going to be the beneficiary. There is nothing better than opening up a system for everybody to be part of it and to benefit from it and to gain from it. If we have the seaport, Uniben, we have more engineering people. Auchi, we have more people going to engineering because there is somewhere to work. So the benefit is absolutely massive. Like I said, Lampton, which the governor must do. Not everybody in Edo State is educated. Not everybody has got internet. So the government people, especially those that inform the public, must not relent. They must constantly use the instrument of information, especially like the EBS, to let poor people know of this progress. Like people now still don't know the meaning of MOU. We should be explaining to them. You sign, I sign. Don't they fight put? So the media should do a lot of things, because if you don't project yourself, nobody will project you. But to answer the question, I'm just full of happiness when I hear this development, because I know it will open up spaces for growth, for development, for everything that is positive. I cannot thank the governor enough, and I cannot wait for Thursday to come, where I would say, yes, the decision that the governor is taking is solely his. Remember, the last 4 years, everything has not been his decision, but now he's in charge, and the expectation is massive.
Thank you very much, my brother. Just to quickly bring us to to speed with some things happening. You did mention the prison break, due to issue of joblessness on the part of some unguided youths. Presently, we are getting report of cases of increased armed robbery and social vices. Apparently, we cannot unlink these with what happened with the prisons in the course of the EndSARS protests. The Benin Correctional Center at Saple Road, and of course the Oko prison, and how inmates were let out, and totally about 1,993. And gradually the police is working hard to capture them back, and some have actually been captured back, and the process is ongoing. But in the meantime, we are seeing so many reports of crimes here and there. From you, Dr. Austin, I can equally report that the governor did pay a courtesy visit on the police management, the police authorities, and of course rekindle the confidence of the state, in the police, and of course assure them that pledge the support of government, assure them that the destroyed police stations will be rebuilt, by the state government, and of course those who may have been injured in the course of the whole pandemonium and all of that, we get fair treatment from the government. But yet, we're actually having a report that the police in Edo State, they are slow to responding, to emergency calls when it gets to do with what's it called, the crimes taking place around the Edo State, as it were. And of course, it's not unexpected based on what has been happening and the temperature and the mood of the country against the police. But we have come out to say very clearly that EndSARS protest was never against the police, but it was against bad elements in SARS, and that is it. So, Dr. Agbons, given this situation, the scenario I just painted, the crime rate, the lack of response from the police, what do you think we now ought to start doing, to ensure that going into the Christmas and New Year, season, as it were, we are able to get protected, protection and all of that from the appropriate quarters?
I think you have already said something very tangible in your postmortem. The governor already met with the police hierarchy. To be honest, morale in the police is at an all-time low. And like you situated as well, the EndSARS protest was not against the police per se, but the part of the police known as SARS. But like most protests in Nigeria, the protest was hijacked by undesirable elements, opportunistic people in the society who saw it as an opportunity to destroy and go on a mayhem. So it was really sad that a number of policemen were killed who were not even in SARS. So So morale is low, but it's a good thing that for Edo State, the governor has met with the police hierarchy. He's made a number of promises, and I think he's already started taking action. Some of the police stations that were burnt down, the state government want to rebuild them, provide, replace all the equipment that were damaged. So I think as we move towards the middle of this month, I am sure that the full weight of the police will be back on the street, because police presence has not been there. So they will be back on the street, and the police will resume their work, and they will get the support of the people as far as intelligence gathering and information is concerned. Let me also fail to mention that usually during the Christmas period like this, crime rate is always very high. But I believe with the good way that our governor enjoys, and the belief that the police hierarchy has with him, I think the incidence of crime will be curtailed. I strongly believe that.
Uh, Dr. Pharmacist Austin, what is your take on the same subject matter? We have crime on increase in Edo State. We have lack of police response, even with the governor's assurances so far. And as a matter of fact, the IG was in Edo State recently. I don't know if it's gone back recently, to assess, damage and assess situation. Of course, had interaction with the police authorities and of course the government of Edo State and all of that. But yet, we are still having reported cases of, crime. As a matter of fact, our areas around the Sakmomba, just very recently, there is something that the Edos are not known for. Edos are not known for jungle justice. Edos are not known, for killing, suspected armed robbers. But on a very rare occasion as this, 2 suspected armed robbers,
were bombed down,
beaten to death, by some youths, affected by the activities of these armed robbers because the police did not respond, as it were. So, given the situation, what do you think? How do you think we should move forward?
Well, my first thing will be to appeal to the people of Edo State. We all grew up there. Sometimes we know these people that cause this problem. If the citizens themselves can be a bit more vigilant, I'm not saying that they should burn down anybody that is found to have stolen like they did last week. But in addition, because like Tony said, the morale of the police is low at the moment. We cannot have quick recruits to fill those gaps. The governor has done what he's supposed to do. Their response may be a bit slow, but probably we then need to look for a different way of keeping security under control. I don't know if they still have the civil defense and all that stuff within the power of the state. Maybe the governor can as well look up to that to try to support the police before they come back in full, and also to beg the citizens to be a bit more careful, to be watchful, and be able to report any incidents or anybody coming around that area that is not known to them. We need all the support that we can have now until the police come back again to full swing. I know they are scared. Somebody even said that the Ubeku police station, the police have refused to come back, And like you said, they said the Sakmomba Road has this area from Telisekula. That's a no-no and a no-go area for many people. So I would say that citizens should be a bit very careful. Don't go out too late at night when it's not necessary. And if you must go, make sure you go quickly, do what you want to do, and get back home until normalcy is restored. It will take a bit of time, but I want to appeal to the police authorities. They have everything. They should come back and give security to the poor masses of our state. And let the vigilante group and everybody really try to see what they can do. There isn't much we can do now. Edo State hasn't got a regional police, so we still have to depend on the federal government. And what is happening in Edo State is happening in so many other states, which again begs the question that our government, both at federal and national and state level, should try to give good governance. When there is good governance, there won't be so much problem. We won't see so much of answers that will now metamorphose to all this. But in all, I'm very hopeful that before long, normalcy will be restored.
Very well. Talking of normalcy, Dr. Agbons, not too long ago, I don't want to mention anybody's name, but there's this, fellow Nigerian, from the eastern part of Nigeria, who is a social media voice, who was giving instructions to some brothers of the Easterners, of the eastern part of Nigeria, to maim, to kill, particularly when it's got to do with police, to destroy, set them on ablaze, carry their guns, fight them, start this, start that, and all that. Okay, but what particularly took my interest out of this was because this person was giving a direction to them to do something like this in Edo State. I know I've been asked a couple of times to advise Edo youths, to ensure that we are vigilant and we guard against anybody trying to come up from trouble in Edo State and create chaos in Edo State. Now, looking at the environment and the instructions somebody is giving like this, to ask his own people, to perpetuate violence in Edo State, do you think that is right? And what do you think Edo people should do, particularly the youths?
Yeah, I think that instruction was very, very misguided. It was satanic, and I want to just plead with the youths in Edo State not to heed that advice. We cannot use our hands to destroy our own state. We are trying to build a new Edo State, a great and mega state. So we should not listen to those kind of evil advice. It is not part of our culture. It is not part of our mindset in Edo. Yes, there was NSAS protest. The protest was peaceful until it was hijacked. So again, let me appeal to the mass of our Edo youths. There's a future for every one of us in the state. We can see the commitment of the current government in Edo State. Very committed, passionate, and compassionate government. So we need to let peace reign, because without peace, there cannot be development.
Thank you so much. Austin Iremira, pharmacist. This one is to you. Specifically, within the first 100 days of the governor of Edo State, what would you advise if you were serving as a special advisor to the governor? What steps would you advise the governor to take going forward? Austin, please.
Cannot emphasize this again. Let me say it again. Communication is very key. I think the government should try to communicate whatever it's doing to the people. That is very, very important. Then, of course, I don't know how serious it is with the COVID-19. Remember, with what has happened with the NSAS issue, the issue of trust within the people and government has been eroded. So the government within these first 100 days should try to build trust. And that trust will be by communication. You see that's very key. On the part of infrastructure, it's already doing things on that. It should build and develop more on that. Then I also want to say, Benin City is the epic center of Edo State. But sometimes you need to take growth and development to the urban areas. I would not want the government to neglect those urban areas, because there are many things that could be done within those areas that can also improve improve commerce and development within the states. And of course, too, transparency.
Do you mean the rural areas?
The rural areas, yes.
Okay.
There should be some form of development to those areas. The north, the southern part of Edo State, let's make sure we do that very well. Then, of course, I don't know if he is changing his cabinet, because that would also depend on the form of advice you want to give as well. So if he's changing his cabinet, he should allow his idea to be very broad and let them carry his ideas to the latter. Because no matter what happens, he is the governor, he is the one that will be blamed. On teachers and education, he's doing fantastically well. He can make the Edo schools or something?
Edo best
to be a bit, continue in that light and put some of improvement, do some more on technology to make things a bit simple, Then, of course, our markets, to make, at least people should no longer be trading on by the roadside. Our market should become a bit fanciful, beautiful, well cleaned, make sure the market women are well represented. There should be that strong discussion with them to put things in place. Then, of course, he's doing well with jobs. He should create more jobs because that's the key. And of course, jobs will come when all this development take place. So that, in a way, would answer itself. He should not relent. He got his good name by paying salaries, even though that is not the core responsibility of government, but he's been doing that. Second tenure should not be the time where he has to forget about doing it. He has to continue that so that by 27th of every month, every good worker of Edo State would have got their alert. That will endear more people to come and work for the state. So all the good things that he's been doing, he should continue and improve on them, and also try to bring new things, new insight into development of government. And of course, too, you see what happened yesterday when he went around trying to, because the people want to see their governor. He should not be detached. Even if it's once or twice a month or once in 6 months, he comes out on Environmental Sanitation Day, himself and his deputy and all the commissioners, they really go to their place to work. People will see them so that there will not be detachment. It should bring that broad idea of governance and make it very, very simple for everybody to see. So that even when you attack the governor, citizens will say, "Nah lie, our governor not be like that. Everything they do, we see how for him body." So once he is the ground running, he already has the platform. It's just to continue and share his vision. Let me also say, 4 years will come so quick. So I should expect that he categorizes his project into the medium, short, and long term. Those that will be achievable quickly within the first 6 months, let him achieve them. If you begin to procrastinate, before you know, 4 years is gone, and you will be unhappy that you haven't set the teams on fire for Edo State. I'm convinced he will do well. I'm convinced. But I don't want him to just hit the ground running quickly without much ado.
Thank you very much, Austin. Just before I call on Agbons, on the same question, I want to quickly observe and state that Victoria ICN, who is watching us online on Facebook, has said that for her, the stability of light is first and foremost, and she wants the governor to tackle the issue of light and security first within the first 100 days. So, Dr. Agbons, what's your take on that? How and what do you want the governor to achieve within the first 100 days?
I think, I don't know, Austin has said virtually everything, but on this light, we go back to the way Nigeria is. It is so unfortunate that power is something that is on the exclusive list in the second schedule of our constitution. So not many people know this. So state government don't really have much to do when it comes to power. But I think in the last dispensation, this Edo State government has already, tried to, do something as far as providing electricity with the Osioma power plant and the Azura power electricity project. So, which they will have to feed into the national grid and then give electricity to our people. One of the major bane of our development is lack of electricity. So, I'm just really happy that the Osioma power plant is working and we can see. So, I believe the government is going to use that as a template to provide electricity like this. Our sister here is saying on the on our page here. So that is it. But generally speaking, in terms of hitting the ground running from November 12th, I know that the governor and his team, they know this. It's very simple, a simple, smart agenda. Something that is specific. You know your project, something that is measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I believe that, like Austin said at the beginning of this program, the governor is on his second term, so he understands the rope even better now. So definitely, he will definitely know what to do. Put a good team together, because that is a is important. And one thing, putting a good team together, you should have people who should be able to tell him the truth, not just having a group of psycho fans around who will always be like, yes, 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 sir, man, yes, sir, yes, sir. You should put a good team together, people who will be able to say, oh, bring ideas, come up with creative ideas, innovation, and then the state will be better for it.
Thank you very much, my brother, Dr. Agbons. Yes, those are Nigerians across the world. I want to say thank you, particularly those who have taken their time to sit with us and, of course, watch this program. This part of it, we're trying to make suggestions and all of that. What I would say, from my own point of view, would be that, the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing shall be added unto you. Unfortunately, the kingdom of development has not actually been looked into by the federal government of Nigeria. And now that we have a governor in Edo State who is giving us hope, I'm going to, personally advise that he looks at the kingdom of development. And that kingdom of development is that I want, if it is possible, and I know it is, if the government wants to take it seriously, I would want and advise the government of Edo State to look into, having a state database that will register all Edo indigenes and all Edo residents. Register them, their date of birth, everything about them, profile everybody, have their records, so that you just tap somebody's name and the records of this person comes out. Now, this helps in two ways. One, economically, it provides, necessary data, for government to know how, to approach developmental strides. We want to know how many people are truly from a local government and how many people are living in a local government. Where are they living? Who are they? How many men? How many women? And from there, when every child is born, okay, these children should be registered. These are their parents. This is their family house. This is their name. This is when they are born. You understand what I'm saying? And when anybody commits crime and the person is found guilty, okay, this should be recorded against these people, so that when there is crime in any area, the first thing that the security apparatus needs to do is to check those that have similar criminal crime attached to their own profile around that vicinity, and of course apprehend those ones first. Start investigation from there. So having a proper database of the people will help the government to plan economically, help the security to provide necessary security for the state, in line with, data and all of that. Hopefully, within the next 4 years, it could be that Edo State would have been very positioned, to have started with, seeking first the kingdom of development, which in religion, in Christendom is righteousness. Kingdom of God is righteousness. But data, gathering and of course storage is the kingdom of development. And I hope that the governor of Edo State would, take a leaf from that, and hopefully let us start to build on that. And of course, let the government, get all Edos, under that database, and every Edo will be locatable when the need arises. And of course, I have said that from the trajectory we see right now, Edo State is set to be the hub of, economic development as far as Nigeria is concerned. And very soon, we are going to likely start having a lot of people come in to become residents. And when that happens, we still want to ensure that we separate our indigenes from those who have become residents. Because even Jesus Christ did allow that the children of the soil, they have to eat from the table, and, the leftover can be for, for the others. You understand what I'm saying? And in this case, those must be ready to present themselves as children of the soil. That will be my own take. And of course, every other thing can go pari passu. So now, so me see the matter reach. My people, I want to take a last word from my brother Austin, while we are coming to the end of this program, as it were. Austin, your last word for the people for today. God bless you.
Thank you so much for being with us, for taking the time out. We really appreciate you now. And for the Edos, I say congratulations, and let's have a very good inauguration. God bless you now.
Thank you so very much. I quickly want to call on my brother, Dr. Agbons. Yes, just a parting word for now. I know we're going to come again in the next 7 days.
Yeah, thank you very much, all our viewers all over the world. Thank you for your time. Thank you for those who have sent suggestions, commented on our page this evening. I want to wish all Edolites, both at home and in diaspora, a very happy inauguration for the second tenure of our governor and his deputy this Thursday in Benin City. To God be the glory. Wish you all a very good time.
So, thank you very much, the Musketeers. That's what I call the team, the Comrade and Friends. Yes, for those across the world, those in diaspora, those who are watching us right now, and those who are going to watch us later, I want to thank you for the time you've taken out, for the support we are getting from you all. Thank you so very much. For our fans and those who are followers of our page, there are those who are top followers who are sharing our, broadcast and everything. I thank you very, very much, because that is the one way that you guys are providing support for us. There's so many other ways that some of you can provide support for us. Thank you so much. The whole idea is that Edo must move forward in everything that we do. The Comrade Show is seriously committed to Edo moving forward, and so everything we do eventually we still tilt down to how is that thing going to move Edo forward. So that's a project, because at the end of the day we have looked at the larger Nigerian society. We will make our input. Even while we are making our input, we are coming back to where we are from, the very roots, because at the end of the day, when the matter becomes a matter of to your turn to Israel, like I always say, we should be able to have somewhere to fall back on. And that is why we are very committed to the home front. And I keep on saying that the government alone will not do it all. We all have our roles to play, and many people are already leading by example and all of that. And we are following. And by the grace of God, we are hoping and believing that all our efforts collectively, will be combined with what government is doing, on their own part, to ensure that the mega agenda of the governor of Edo State is fully and well realized, to the glory of God and, of course, to the blessing of every one of us. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. May God bless Edo State. May God bless the governor of Edo State. May God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. And may God bless everyone who's watching us right now. Thank you so much. And we are going to take a bow right now until we see you again in 7 days' time. But don't forget, on Wednesday, we shall be back here with personalities and influencers. And we are going to be having a good time with our brother, an Edo-born movie maker, an actor. His name is Nosa Obaseki. We are going to be looking at Nollywood through his eyes. And of course, we're going to be looking at some of the works he has done. And of course, we're going to be having a lot. He's going to be having a lot he's going to share with us on Wednesday. Don't forget the time is going to be 6 p.m. on Wednesday. It's going to be a tight program, believe me. I can assure you. So join us then if you have a chance. May God bless you, like I said before. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. Peace.